Hey everyone, welcome back to MJ English. I'm Jason.
And I'm Mary. Hope your day has been kind to you so far.
Yeah, I really mean that. Like a small, kind day. Not a huge, dramatic, happy day, just kind.
Which actually fits today's topic perfectly.
So, Mary, I want to ask you something. Take it seriously, but don't panic.
Oh no, that's already making me nervous.
What actually makes you happy?
See, you did the thing. A second ago, I was fine. Then you turned it into homework.
Right? It's such a weird question. The moment somebody asks it directly, your brain just freezes.
Because suddenly you feel like you have to say something deep, something impressive.
When honestly, sometimes happiness is just hot tea on a cold day, or your favorite song coming on at exactly the right moment.
Or hearing from a friend you haven't talked to in a while.
Yeah. And we wanted to talk about this today because so many of us spend so much time chasing big things that we forget what actually feels good while we're living.
Success, money, attention, productivity, looking like we have it all together.
And then one quiet little moment shows up and somehow it feels more real than all of that.
So that's where we're going today. Less fireworks, more warmth.
Okay, so let's start here. Why does the question, what makes you happy, feel so big when the answer should be simple?
Because happiness isn't really one feeling. It's like 10 different things wearing the same name tag.
That's a great way to put it.
Sometimes happiness is excitement. Sometimes it's relief. Sometimes it's connection. Sometimes it's just feeling steady.
And those are all really different. Excitement is loud, steady is quiet.
Right, so when someone asks, "Are you happy?" your brain has to pick one out of the bunch and try to give a clean answer, and life isn't that clean.
I think this is also why some people laugh a lot and still feel empty.
Yeah, or someone with a really quiet life who looks like they're not doing much and they're actually deeply okay.
So happy on the outside doesn't always equal happy on the inside.
And honestly, that's why so many people end up chasing the wrong things for years.
What do you mean by wrong things?
Things that look like they should make us happy from a distance. More money, more praise, more followers, more status.
Which aren't bad things on their own.
No, not at all. The problem is when we ask them to do too much for us. Like, when I get that promotion, I'll finally be okay.
Oh, the classic, I'll be happy when sentence.
Yes, such a dangerous sentence.
Because you're putting all your happiness on the other side of something that hasn't happened yet.
Exactly. And when that thing finally happens, it almost never feels as big as you imagined.
Not because it's worthless, but because you asked it to fix everything.
Right. We want one success to heal our insecurity, one relationship to erase our loneliness, one big achievement to silence self-doubt forever.
And life kind of just goes, yeah, that's not how I work.
It gives you a nice moment, not a complete transformation.
Which is still good, by the way. A nice moment is still a win.
Just smaller, more human.
Okay, I want to switch angles because when people are really honest about their happiest moments, they don't actually talk about achievements first.
They talk about people.
Yes, a friend who checked in at the right time, a conversation that made them feel understood, someone who waited for them.
Someone they didn't have to perform around.
That part, that's huge.
Because relationships don't just make life busy or interesting, the good ones make life nourishing.
Nourishing is such a soft word, but it really fits.
It feeds you, quietly, slowly, in a healthy way, not just physically, emotionally too.
Like a friend you can just sit in silence with and it doesn't feel weird.
Or coming home and the place actually lets your shoulders drop.
Yeah, a lot of adults realize this a little late, you know?
They build the outside of life first, career, money, image, and then slowly realize the inside still depends on warmth and trust.
Status doesn't keep you company at midnight.
It really doesn't.
And I want to slow down here because this connects to the small moments thing.
Yeah, the moments that don't look important while they're happening, but somehow, later, they're the ones that stay.
Like opening a window in the evening when the air finally cools down.
A first sip of something warm.
A joke you didn't expect.
Someone remembering a small detail about you that you didn't even realize you mentioned.
Those things look small from the outside, but emotionally, they're not small at all.
They can carry a whole day.
And there's this old saying, stop and smell the roses.
Slow down enough to enjoy the simple good things.
Not everything has to be dramatic to matter.
Honestly, in places like Tokyo or Taipei where life moves fast, this gets really hard.
You walk fast, you eat fast, you scroll fast.
And the small moments are still there, they just slip past you.
Which kind of brings us to gratitude, because gratitude is basically the practice of not letting them slip past.
And gratitude is so misunderstood, by the way.
People think it means pretending everything is fine.
No, real gratitude says, yeah, life is hard in some ways, and this small good thing is still real, too.
The sky can be heavy and the tea can still be lovely.
That's such a real way to look at it.
I think one of the hardest adult skills is learning to notice what's tender and good without needing life to become perfect first.
Which is so hard the moment comparison shows up.
Oh, comparison, the thief.
Such a rude guest.
Because nothing in your actual life changes, you just put it next to someone else's life and suddenly yours feels smaller.
And that's where contentment gets damaged. Contentment, that quiet feeling of, this is enough for now.
Not excitement, not perfection, just enough.
And comparison teaches your mind to say, yes, but look at them, their life, their job, their relationship.
And the grass starts looking greener everywhere except where you're standing.
The grass is always greener on the other side. It hits hard because we all do it.
But what we're actually seeing is distance, not truth.
Distance smooths everything out. Real life always has more texture than that. Every life has dishes in the sink, every life has tension, every life has stuff people don't post.
So one quiet form of happiness might just be protecting your attention, not letting every passing image tell you what your life should feel like.
Hard to feel peace when your eyes are always in someone else's garden.
Okay, I want to bring up one more thing before we wind down, because there's a difference between pleasure and deep happiness, and I want to talk about it.
Pleasure is real. We're not against pleasure. We support snacks and good weather very strongly.
Deeply committed.
But pleasure is like a spark. It brightens the room for a second.
And then there are things that make you light up.
Like when someone starts talking about something they really love and you can hear it in their voice.
That's one of my favorite things to witness.
Mine too. But even that isn't the whole picture.
Because someone can light up in a beautiful moment and still be searching for something deeper.
Deep happiness asks for more than stimulation. It asks for connection, meaning, rest, honesty, inner steadiness.
Not just the thing that feels good, but the thing that stays good after the moment passes.
Which is why people can have so much pleasure and still feel emotionally hungry.
And maybe that hunger is what pushes people toward meaning.
Yeah, a life that feels meaningful has a different texture. Even hard days feel different when they belong to something that matters to you.
A person you love, a purpose, a piece of work that means something to you, a way of treating people.
And kindness fits into this in such a quiet way.
Because being kind of takes you out of your own little mental loop for a second.
You step out, you notice someone else, you soften.
And usefulness too, feeling like your presence helped someone.
That gives life weight in the best sense.
And it gives you something to look forward to.
A meal with someone you love, a weekly call, a small ritual.
Even just knowing that life is waiting for you in a soft way.
Happiness isn't only the moment, sometimes it's the soft pull toward the moment.
I love that.
So if I had to name today's takeaway, it would be this. Real happiness might be quieter than we imagined.
Less fireworks, more warmth.
It might look like sleeping well, not dreading your phone, laughing more easily, sitting with someone in silence and not needing to perform.
Coming home to yourself a little.
That might be the line of the whole episode.
Real happiness is less like winning something and more like living in a way that gently fits your heart. Thanks for hanging out with us today, listeners. Take care of your English and take care of your heart.
That's it for this episode. Until next time, this is Mary.
And this is Jason. You've been listening to MJ English. Bye for now.